You're listening to Table Talk with Tottie, the podcast where we have real talk about life and business as a creative living in the 21st century. I'm your host, Natasha Tottie Weston. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Table Talk with Tottie podcast. If you are new here, I'm your host, Natasha Tottie Weston. Welcome. If you are an OG, welcome back, of course. Now, you guys, usually on the show, we talk about business, entrepreneurship, and all of that stuff. But today, I want to do a little switch up and do a little bit of a less formal conversation about what it really means to live your best life, especially like now in 2023, how chaotic the world is and how it seems like everybody is in an upward battle trying to find themselves, find their purpose, and just redefine what freedom really means. In today's world, we experience most people through the lens of social media, and their lives sometimes inspire us to want to start the businesses, take the trips, fall in love, and do all of the things. But I've seen firsthand the impact when you actually hear the stories behind how people got to where they are. And I'm talking about everybody from the people we follow on Instagram to our everyday Facebook friends that some of them we met and some of them we haven't. And I'm not going to lie, I miss having guests on the show. So about a month ago, when I was scrolling on Facebook, I didn't really think it was a coincidence when I saw a post from my good friend here and today's guest, Desiree Brown, who I've watched so many of her adventures from Bourbon Street to even attending her own private house party right here in Charleston. And what I've noticed the most is that she's really big on stopping to smell the flowers and experiencing all that life has to offer. Well, on this particular day in her post, I think Desiree had like a full circle moment where she shared how she was really living her best life. And I knew that I had to reach out to her and see if she would come on today and share her journey with us. Now, for context purposes, because I know y'all like to be all in my business and know how I know certain people and like what our history is, but Desiree is someone I know, but someone I think you need to know. In 2018, which I did go back and do a little history trying to figure out like how long we've known each other. But we met through my crazy wild cousin, Two Cups, at a kickback. I think it was Christmas one year. And that's how we met. And of course, we became Facebook friends and we've hung out a couple of times since then over the years. But in 2018, Desiree was fired from her 9 to 5 after the loss of her grandmother. And it was at that point she decided to take her future in her own hands. She secured her dream job as a flight attendant and she has not looked back, y'all. Today, that dream job has positioned her to achieve her dreams of having the flexibility to live life the way she wants, travel freely, and take the people she loves along with her. Y'all, Desiree is literally living her best life. I know people say that all the time, but like, sis is really living her best life. And today, I kind of want to unpack how she got here and how she's managed to turn what seemed to be a loss and grief into so many fulfilling wins. Welcome to the podcast, Desiree. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Hi, guys.
How's it going? How's life? I mean, outside of what we know, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Life's good. I don't have many complaints right now.
I love that for you. And
Thank
the
you.
goal is to get us all kind of in that same space. Because, like I said, so much is happening in the world. Like, people are going crazy in the mind. People are just, it's a lot going on. And so I think your journey is a breath of fresh air because it is possible to go from what seems like complete chaos and life just happening to, not having, I'm not going to say you don't have no worries because we all do.
Right.
But you do definitely seem to be the real definition of living your best life. So first, let me just say how much I love witnessing you and just watching you live your life so raw and authentically. And that's just from what you share with us on the internet and from where I'm sitting. Now, in the post you made on Facebook, you said, I'm really living my best life and I love that for me. And then you went on to say how in the past month you've seen so many amazing artists in concert, such as the City Girls, Sean Paul, Usher, and then I think most recently you've seen Janet Jackson at Madison Square Garden. Let's talk
Yes,
about
I
that.
did.
Goals, girl,
Yeah.
goals. You went on to talk about some of the upcoming trips you have, like Aruba, Jamaica, and then your dream trip to Egypt, and how all of this stemmed from landing your dream job. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but my friend, that's what you call living. And that's why I wanted to chop it up with you today to understand how you got here because we know it didn't start off this way. There
Right.
are so many ways someone could define the phrase living your best life, but I'm curious, Desiree, how do you personally define this?
I define living my best life as living a life that is enjoyable to me, not a lot of people put on for social media. They're
Mhm.
happy on social media, but in real life they're not. But at
Right.
the end of the day, what I do I'm happy with. And I always say my theme song is I'm like a bird. I'll only fly away. So like
Yes,
I
I
just
love
feel
it.
like I'm like very I'm free. I do what I want. I do it when I want. I'm living life on my own terms. I'm going where I want. I'm seeing what I want and
Mhm.
I'm doing it unapologetically. And at the same time, I'm making money. So like I'm literally
Period.
I'm living my best life. I'm living the life that I dream to have, you know?
Yes, absolutely. And I could just imagine that what has happened to you and life in general is really position you for where you are and to even have that mindset because I'm sure if you probably how we always say those things, but like when you actually start living it, it just gives it a whole new meaning. And so I was curious to know like what does living your best life mean to you? Because for some people it's taking a trip every week. For some people it's just making an extra couple $100 a month to pay another bill that may have been stressing them out. So I was just curious to find out what did you define living my best life as? So, as a college dropout and someone who has taken a less traditional route to defining what success and freedom is and what that looks like, I'm always super intrigued to hear other people's stories on the things that they were into before they found the thing that they're into now. So, I know you haven't always been a flight attendant. I mean, when I met you, Desiree, you were making us some of the best cocktails in Two Cuts Kitchen. So I had never known much about you. And obviously from looking on social media, it only paints a certain part of the picture. So what were you doing before you became a flight attendant?
So before became a flight attendant, I was a logistics analysis. So I was working in that and like dispatching too.
Okay.
Uh, and then when you met me, I was a bartender, but I was working like literally three different jobs
Mm.
because my grandmother had passed away. And like I felt like that would keep me busy. Like literally, I was Kevin Gates. I got three jobs. I don't get tired.
Yes.
Like that was my life. I was literally working my life away. But and I was busy and I was making money, but I wasn't happy, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I was doing. I was the logistics job was miserable, and I was bartending was fun for me, but it wasn't fulfilling.
So did you went to school for logistics or was that just like a job that you had just
I did not.
landed? You didn't. Okay.
I went to school for political science. And
Hmm.
I wanted to go to law school, and I didn't. And then when
I
I
can
finished,
totally
I
see
was
you being a lawyer though.
right. Everybody says that though. Everybody
Yeah.
says that.
Uh-huh.
But I don't feel like I would have been happy. I do not feel like I would have been happy. And I always, when I was a little girl, I always used to like talk about, yeah, I want to be a flight attendant because my grandmother, she was like a traveling nurse, so she used to go all over the place. And my girl would be in Paris, and I'm like, yeah, I want to go. I want to be a flight attendant.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that was always like my dream as a little girl is just to be a flight attendant. And
Okay.
then when I got out of school, um, I want to say when I got out of school, I went to work on a naval base. And I worked there for like 2 years. And then I got into this logistics job and I worked there up until 2017. No, 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 I lied. From 2016 to 2017, I did event planning, coordination, and weddings with Michelle Summers. The
Okay.
Michelle
Yes,
Summers.
yes, okay.
So yeah, so
So
I was her assistant.
mhm.
Uh and honestly, I had gotten a car accident and like I just like wasn't I never came back. Like I just my mind wasn't in the right place or whatever, and I just never came back. And
Okay.
then I ended up landing this logistics job. And at first, it was cool. I was making good money, and it was okay for the time being. But it was male dominated, and
Okay.
sometimes I felt a little intimidated or that they underestimated my abilities to do certain things. And
Hmm.
that was all cool, that was all fine and dandy. Until my grandmother went into the hospital.
Okay.
And for people who don't know me, me and my grandmother were like the closest people. Like me and my grandmother were literally like this, like
Yes.
close, close. And it's been like that since I was born because I'm the first grandchild.
Okay.
Um, so we've always been like that. And
Hmm.
people put soulmates in a relationship form, but like she was my soulmate. Like
I
I
can
feel like
tell.
our bond was like just like a different type of, bond.
Hmm.
But so my grandmother got sick. Well, she wasn't sick. She had a stroke. And I found her in her house down after we couldn't reach her. So she had a
Hmm.
stroke, and she was fine. She was fine in the hospital until they intubated her, and then she just never woke back up.
Wow.
Um so I was this was literally the day after she died. I was like, I want to go to work. So I went to work. And I went to work up until like her funeral, and I took a couple days off then. And then
Right.
after her funeral, I went back to work. And I will say about a week went by, and one of my bosses called me in the office and was like, you know, we really, we know you're going through a lot, but we need the ethic and the person that you were before your grandmother passed away. And I'm like, what? What do you mean?
Wow.
And they
Mm.
were just like, you were different before. And I was like, well, I can't bring her back, so I can't.
You just
There's no
went
way
through a
to go back.
life-changing
Yeah,
traumatic
like
event. Like what?
I can't go back. What do you want me to do? Bring her back? And so they were like, well, if you can't do that, then we're gonna have to let you go. And I'm like, bye.
Hmm.
Hit the
Wow.
road, Jack. Yeah. So like at
Hmm.
that moment, I was like at my like rock bottom. Like I'm talking about rock bottom. And like I didn't tell any of my family, I didn't tell any of my friends or nothing that I got fired from my job. And I just remember like one day sitting in my room, I'm like, I don't want to live. I do not
Wow.
want to do this. And kid you not, I woke up one day and my parents thought I was going to work. I was not going to work. And at the time I was driving my grandmother's car. And so I had a long talk with her in the car. I had done typed out a note on my little phone app. And
Wow.
I'm like, I cannot do this anymore. I just can't. And I closed my eyes and I ran through a red light trying to go off an overpass. Like
Wow.
I was over it. And I don't know what saved me. I do not know what saved me. I don't know how I didn't go off the overpass. I should have. But I didn't. And at that moment I was just like, maybe I got another purpose in life.
Yes. Yeah.
And I could just like I looked up and I had this like necklace that my grandmother wore every day. And the necklace was just like shaking. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
Mhm.
So at that point I
Wow.
started applying. I started applying for my dream job. I wanted to be a flight attendant. I went back to what I always wanted to do and I started applying. And the
Wow.
interviews started coming in. And I took the
Wow.
first one and I didn't tell anybody again. I only told my parents what I was doing. Because I feel like a lot of times you let people into stuff and then it doesn't go the way that you want it to go. And
Mhm.
then you have people who really aren't cheering for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I went to the interview in Denver, and I got the job on the spot. And a few months
That
later, I
means
was
that was
pregnant.
definitely for you.
It
That
it
was
was
definitely
it
for
was
you.
it was definitely for me, and my grandmother was praying for me the whole time. So like that I'm happy I made the choice.
Was it in that moment, when you closed your eyes and went through that light, was it in that moment that you decided that you were going to start living your dreams and start pursuing your dream job? Or did you go through a series of like mental process and after that happened, because I know you said you didn't tell anyone you lost your job, and so I can imagine that that allowed you to process things a lot easier, because a lot of times when we, like you said, when we tell people things, we have all these opinions, and a lot of times other people's opinions is what drives us to make the decisions we make. It's not a lot of times our genuine decision. So did you
Mm.
make that decision in that moment, or did you go through like a process of figuring out, okay, I'm actually going to take this step, I'm going to go apply for the dream job and go from there?
In that moment, I decided that I'm going to live my life to my standards and
Mhm.
not what anyone else wants me to do or thinks I should do. Uh, at that time, the flight attendant thing didn't, like, hit me. And then, a couple of days later I thought about it and I'm like, what is stopping me from doing it? There's literally nothing holding me here. I hate being here. I hate
Mhm.
waking up here, and I've been tired of the scenery and I want to do what I always wanted to do, and that's travel.
Yeah.
So and that's when I started going for it.
Awesome. Well, you answered my next question immediately, because I was going to ask you to take us back to like what happened. Why did you lose your job? Why did you get fired? And so, I mean, that's really inspiring to know that you got fired. You tried to essentially end your life, and that led you to getting the courage to pursue your dream life and your dream job. Now, at the time of this recording, I just seen on your page is Flight Attendant Week. I didn't even know that was a thing. So
It
happy Flight
is.
Attendant Week, friends.
Thank you.
They be making up all kinds of days, but that's
Right.
special. I love that for y'all. Do y'all like have special parties or do anything? Y'all get a discount when you go in IHOP or anything like that?
So the airport does a lot for us. Each airport does a lot for us. And then, our like supervisors and managers, they'll have like special meals and stuff set up for us. They'll have
Mhm.
gift cards and prizes we can win and stuff. But like this was a holiday week, so
Yeah.
I try not to work on holidays unless they offering me 300% pay. If you're not offering me 300% pay,
Y'all
then
hear
I'm
that? 300% pay.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Wow.
I don't work it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about work life balance, because I see you having the best time all the time. And I could always tell when you're at work, cuz you share these stories about these crazy customers that's on these flights. So I can always tell when your party is over and you back to work. But I admire how you do take time off and you do live and enjoy life and then you go back to work. Now that's something I personally struggle with a lot, still do, because there's always something to do. I don't understand people that are bored. It's like there's always something to do. Now, based off of the job that you have, I can only imagine how demanding and unpredictable it is at all times. And I also know that we live in an all work, no sleep society, and I absolutely freaking hate that for us. How do
Mhm.
you find a sense of stability and maintain a healthy work life balance while working as a flight attendant? And are there any like practices that you've had to develop over time to take care of yourself physically, but most importantly, mentally?
Yes. So, first and foremost, I have been in therapy since 2019. So,
We love
my
that.
therapist, like, she plays a big part in me making sure that I am doing what is best for my mental health.
Mhm.
So the first things first, I put my mental health first. And the thing I like most about my job is we don't have a minimum amount of hours that we have to work, you know?
Okay.
If we want money, then we'll work. If we don't want money and we just want our benefits, then we don't work.
Mhm.
So it'll be sometimes where I'm in a month and I know the next month I got a bunch of tricks planned. So I will literally work myself until I'm like, okay, I need a mental break.
Okay.
Or I'll have a therapy session and I'll just be drained and my therapist will be like, you know what you need to do.
Those
And
be
then
them days you be talking crap about her online?
Oh yeah,
Gym
yeah,
base.
yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Keep trying me. Like I want a fist fight.
I
like,
know. I feel you. I want mine to live with me, but not live with me. You know, I get
like
it.
I think we should just like go in the ring and like just box it out sometimes
For
because
real,
she
seriously,
be
sis.
reading
Because
me
if
too
you
bad.
wanted to fight, just say
Okay,
that.
hey, yeah, but she be right. She be right on it, and I'll just be
Mhm.
like, you know what, you right, sis. I'm gonna drop these trips that I got coming up. So also like if I got something planned and I know I can get off work, then I'm getting off work. I don't care. I don't care if y'all emailing me um offering premium pay. If I have something
Mhm.
planned, I do not put it off for work
Yeah.
because it could be something like a baby shower that I'm missing for my friends, and something could happen. That could be the last time I see my friend.
Yeah.
And with life lately, like I swear, even since my grandmother passed, like I've lost so much friends and family since then, and life is literally short.
Yeah.
So I don't play around when it comes to me taking the time that I need off from my job to love on my friends and family, or keep dates that I have planned with them. So I
Mhm.
do not I keep my work and my personal schedule very separate. Our schedules are come out a month before.
Okay.
So I already know, hey, I'm gonna be working this day, and I'll tell my friends sometimes if y'all got something planned, tell me before the 11th so I can take it off.
Yeah.
And then even if something comes up, that's another thing I love about my job. It's very flexible. I actually moved in December so that I could have a higher seniority. So when I want to drop these trips, it's easier to get them off my schedule.
Got
So
it. Okay.
yeah, so I'll drop a trip if something comes up last minute and it's important. Like my friend at the last minute decides she wants to celebrate her birthday tomorrow, then I'm gonna drop my trip and I'm gonna go celebrate my friend's birthday.
Yes.
So I am very big on not letting my work life conflict with me living my best life. I'm not.
I
I'm not
love
doing.
that. Y'all
Yeah.
heard that, right? I love that. So, did you start therapy after your grandmother died, or has this just been
Yeah.
something you did? So
Yeah.
that helped you with your grief and um even now with this job, like prioritizing your personal life and not just working, working, working all the time. So I love that because I know we've had some dialogue just on social media about therapy, and I'm a huge advocate. I talk about it all the time. I don't know like where I would be without therapy. I mean,
Yeah.
whew, I would be a real hot. I mean, I'm a hot mess, but I would really be a hot mess. Like,
Listen,
woo!
navigating life without my therapist, like especially this day and time, especially like after COVID,
Oh
girl,
man.
I don't know where I'll be. And I also, so I was diagnosed with anxiety in high school, and I've been
Okay.
taking medicine for it ever since. So, me having anxiety, and then my job, child, if I had to deal with them people every day, and I have a therapist, and just like
They would be
just
in
like
trouble.
rely on those meds, I would be a zombie
Mhm.
because those people will drive you up a wall. Like I
Listen,
be needing her.
I commend you because I mean, and I think I think therapy should be free. I always tell people that. I
Yeah,
think therapy should be something that every human being that needs it gets because I just imagine not being able to afford to go to therapy or, pay for a session. It just helps when, because even for someone listening that's not in the position that Desiree's in, not living a dream life or dream job yet, life is hard. And when you are dealing with grief like Desiree has, or you're dealing with maybe losing your job, like we all have had encountered once or twice in our life at least. I mean, sometimes you don't want to burden your other family members with or your friends with what you're dealing with. And in your case, I'm sure everybody else was grieving right alongside of you. And
like
with you losing your job and not telling them, just for many reasons you probably had, but the therapist is always like a safe outlet because like they're going to keep it honest with you, but you can tell them genuinely how you feel, and they help you process things so that you don't always have to rely on them, but that you learn how to better understand yourself and how you work through things. So I love that, therapy has helped you. Y'all hear that, like therapy, because I'm always screaming therapy and people are like, therapy, please, therapy. And I'm like, no,
yes,
seriously,
therapy.
therapy has changed my life. Like I
Literally.
literally, I don't know what I mean for so many different reasons. So I love that. Now, building a brand and a business is something I think everybody and their mama is wanting to do or trying to do or Jesus. And y'all don't even know what y'all asking for because it's hard. Now, I don't think you have a do you have a business right now currently?
Um, I don't have a business right now.
Not yet.
I have two big things that I am working on that's
Okay.
also been like, something that I've been pushed to do. One definitely since my grandmother passed away, and then another one like my friends have been just literally like pushing me to do this for the longest, and so I'm getting it. I'm getting it done. I'm getting
I
it
can
done.
see that. I can see a full scope of what I think you're going to be doing next. So I can't wait to see. But can you offer advice to someone who wants to define for themselves what it means to live their best life? And can you share maybe one main mindset shift that has helped you to pursue your dreams?
Um, Definitely living your best life for you should mean doing what you want to do when you want to do it with no regrets. Oftentimes like there's one friend in particular, and they do a lot for so many people, and then they come to me and they'll tell me, I got to do this, I got to do this. I'll invite them somewhere and they be like, well, no, because I got to do this and I need to have money for that, but
Yeah.
none of it is about them. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about other people.
Other people.
And they feel like if they don't do this for them, then they'll feel some type of way. I stopped caring about what people would think of me if I didn't do something for them. And I stopped caring about what they would think if I told them no. No
Mm.
needs to become a regular part of your vocabulary when dealing with people, because they will use you and they will use you until you don't have anything left.
Yes.
And you'll start realizing that you ain't really living your life. And a good quote that I like to take into my mind is, you start with a beginning year, a birth year, and an
Mm-hmm.
end year. What
Yes.
matters is the little dash in between.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to matter the most at the end of the day. And if
Yeah.
you've done nothing but people please that whole time, then did you really live? And I don't want to get to the end of my life and be like, what did I do for me?
Mm.
So that is why I am very unapologetically me, and I do what I want to. I do it when I want to. I'm not stuck on I'm single. I am 30. I don't have any kids. And that's not saying that I don't want any kids or I don't want a man or whatever, but I want it on my terms. And um people who know me, they think I'm mean, but I feel like I'm very blunt.
Mean? No way.
They swear I'm mean. They think I am the meanest person ever, but I'm very blunt, and I'm very like just straight to the point, because when you start sugarcoating stuff for people, then they start getting the wrong impression of things, and I don't want that. I want you to know, no. I mean, no, I'm not doing that,
Mhm.
or no, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So again, I unapologetically live your life for you, not for what you think other people are going to perceive it as, not for what you think other people want to see. Live it for you, because a lot of times my friends will get on me and be like, oh, you went so and so, you ain't post nothing, you ain't snap nothing. Girl, I was having fun.
That part.
And
Living in
I
the
tell them
moment
all the
too.
time, yes, like the
Yeah.
funnest parts of my life are not recorded, because I be having so much fun that I don't even, realize I'm not documenting it, or I'm not, oh, I
Mhm.
need to put my phone out and do this.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by I'm living my best life. And a lot of people don't, they be like, well, I can't tell you went here from, I don't put my whole life on social media. I put what I want y'all to see. And 90% of the stuff I be talking about on social media, I be laughing. I be sharing
You
crazy stuff.
definitely laughing.
So people think
Mhm.
I'm just insane.
Yeah.
People think I'm insane. They think I'm crazy. They think I'm mean. Like, but at the end of the day, I'm content with who I am.
And I
And
love that. Yes.
I am content with who the life that I'm living. And I like to say a lot. I just said this to my friend today, because these men, That's another thing for my ladies.
Child, you
If
see
you
me
living
look at my
if
watch,
you're
right?
living your life, if you're living
Wow.
your best life, it consists of dating all of them. That's living your best life too. Don't tie yourself down to one. And as soon as one starts acting up, replace them. Get another one. There's so many out here. Just
Key-
get another one.
Keywords as soon, not
As
later,
soon
as
don't give
soon.
them all these chances to keep proving to you that they are not worthy of you, and
Mhm.
demand what you want then and there. That's living your
Yep.
best life, you know? So like I
Yes.
told him there, I was like, I don't mind being the villain in your story. That's fine with me.
I love
Because as
that.
long as I'm not the villain in mine, I'm all right with it.
Ooh,
And
that's
at the end
good,
of the day,
Desiree.
like and I live by that. At the end of the day, what how you feel about me is not going to make me lose sleep at night. But how I feel about me, it will make me toss and turn. So as
Yeah.
long as I feel like I've done the right thing and I'm content with the person who I am, then I don't care what other people think. And I've never really been that type of person, but more so now that I see how short life is and how it could be just taken away in a second. Like that is why I'm big on doing what I want to do when I want to do it and how I want to do it. And I
Yes.
don't let anything hold me back from doing that.
Yes, I love it. So I mean, I have nothing else after that. All I can say is whether your dream job is in your fingertips or at your fingertips or you're working on it, either way it goes, live your best life. Redefine what freedom is, because for so many people, we think we got to go to school, graduate, and get married right away, have a bunch of kids. And I mean, if that's your dream, that's your dream, but that doesn't have to be. And that's why I think it's important to connect with people like Desiree, who haven't necessarily taken a traditional route and who have turned, unfortunate life cases into, all of this glow and, you know, brown girl magic that we see all the time. And I just love your spirit. And I think that, a lot of people might not tell you they're inspired, but I know I am. And I watch you all the time and I'm like, this girl, where's she going at today? I'm like, where's she going? Where's she at? What's she doing? I mean, between your travels and just your personality, like the things you share, I'm like over here cracking up half of the time, especially when it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm up because my brain is racing, probably like just like yours. I'm like
Right.
laughing my butt off in the bed because you're just a light. And I think so many people can take from your story and just how you've turned things around for yourself and how you've taken your life into your own hands. And I love that. And I hope that if you're listening to this, that you take something away that she said, because she said a lot, and connect with her if she wants y'all to, because she don't put all her business out there like that. But I have a question, one last question for you. Do you ever think about maybe starting a travel vlog or taking us a little bit more in the journey with you? Because I could just see you doing something like that, or like even having a podcast that I could listen to all day, something. I don't know. What's next for you that you can share?
I have, and I record. I have so much content that I'm just sitting on that I don't know how to like. I guess I need to like ask people who actually do it
Hmm.
to help me. What I need to what do I need to do to capture people to want to watch me.
Right.
And again, a big problem is that I don't be thinking to record. So
Mhm.
I am going to see Beyonce on June 8th in Barcelona, and I want that
Oh,
to be my first travel vlog, you know.
yes.
Uh so I am planning on documenting all of that and hopefully editing it and getting everything together so that I could release it.
Yes.
But aside from that, I am working on finishing my book.
Oh,
So
yes. Oh my God.
yeah.
Don't be so
So
petty.
definitely I want to kind of just like launch them at the same time. And we'll get on
I
that with that.
love that. Well, I'd love to have you back when the book is released so we can share it with the people. But I'm excited for you. Keep being you. Keep shining your light because we need you. I know I need you. I need to see you online and stuff. I know we don't get to hang out all the time, but I definitely enjoy watching your journey and watching you live your best life. And I just continue to wish you nothing but blessings and peace in mind and soul, and just keep being you, Desiree, because you the bomb girl.
Thank you. So
And
are
I don't care
you.
what they're talking about because you're not mean. They just never hung out with you.
Girl, I don't be caring. You know me.
Right,
I don't
you the
care.
best. You are the best time. Okay, so
Thank
is
you.
there anywhere that the listeners can connect with you on social media if they want to connect with you after today's show?
Yeah, of course. So my Instagram is underscore melanin, and melanin is spelled Melanyn, Monroe, like Marilyn Monroe. And then on Facebook, my name is Desiree, Desiree, Keela, Kela.
So
Please.
thank you again, Desiree, for being here. I appreciate you so, so much. You guys make sure y'all connect with her on social media, especially because she is working on some cool things that you do not want to miss out on. And I will leave all of her information down in the show notes. As usual, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode with anyone who you know is trying to live their best life. And until the next time, I'll talk to you guys soon.